go, Adrian! I did it! Hey everybody, how's it going? Thiago here, and welcome to another video. Yes, today we are learning English with none other than Rocky Balboa. Yes, I love this character so much. I love Sylvester Stallone as an actor and producer and writer, and I love the Rocky movies, obviously. So today I brought a clip here for us to work on from Rocky Balboa. This is a movie that came out in 2006, actually, which portrays an older Rocky coming back from retirement or coming out of retirement to fight his last fight. Before we start though, if you're new here on the channel, I've created this channel to help intermediate and advanced learners of English communicate with more confidence, more accuracy, more clarity, and more awareness. If this sounds like something you want for yourself and your English, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single new video. Also, don't forget to check out my new pronunciation course available on pre-sale. This is a course that's going to help you better understand native speakers because it teaches you the main connected speech patterns that they use when they speak in real life and in media. And this course is also going to help you improve your pronunciation because I go over all the main sounds of the English language in detail with a lot of example sentences for you to practice along with me. The course right now is available on pre-sale at a very special discounted price. To learn more about the course, click the link here in the description of the video or also check out the pinned comment below so you can go to the page, read more about the course, and if it makes sense to you, you can buy it now at a very special price. All right, guys, so just to give you some context here, Rocky is older now in this movie already. He's in his 50s, and he's coming out of retirement to fight one last fight because he feels like it's something that he needs to do. But then his son, Robert Balboa, right, doesn't really understand his decision. Like, why? Why at this stage in your life, in your 50s, why do you want to come back to the ring and box a younger guy? Okay, so in this clip here, the son is questioning his decision, and let's see what the father, Rocky, has to say as response, okay? So let's get started here.
So you nervous about the fight?
Really cool, yeah. He says, "You nervous about the fight?" First of all, he doesn't say the T for fight. You nervous about the fight? He pronounces the T there as a stop consonant. You nervous about the fight? The fight? Okay? And notice that it's a question, but there's no auxiliary here. The full question would be, are you nervous about the fight? But guys, this is something that is really common. You see that a lot in movies and TV series. Native speakers completely dropping the auxiliary verbs in questions. So even though it's a question, they don't use the auxiliary verb. Like, you nervous about the fight? In other words, are you nervous about the fight? Okay?
So you nervous about the fight?
They're scared to death.
Scared to death. Nice expression. When you are scared to death, you are really scared. Okay? So Rocky is saying, yeah, I'm scared to death of coming back to the ring and fight again, especially against a guy who is at least 20 or 30 years younger than me. All right?
You don't look scared?
Well, you ain't supposed to.
You don't look scared. I ain't supposed to. This is the same as saying, I'm not supposed to, okay? I'm not supposed to look scared. So even though Rocky is scared, he's not supposed to look scared. So he doesn't look scared. I ain't supposed to. You guys will see that Rocky, as a character, he uses a lot of ain't, okay? Ain't is a slang term that replaces the to be in the negative and the have or has in the negative. So it replaces am not, is not, are not, okay? And it also replaces in the present perfect haven't and hasn't. This is a slang term. It's extremely informal because Rocky is a character who is not, let's say, very educated in terms of formal education, okay? He plays a character who comes from the streets, who comes from a poor area in Philadelphia, you know, and he was a boxer all his life. So he doesn't have a lot of formal education. So there's a lot of street language, let's say, in the way he speaks. And one of the most common words Rocky uses all the time is ain't. Okay? So I ain't supposed to, I'm not supposed to. Okay?
But you don't have to do it.
Yeah, well, I think I do.
This is interesting, guys. Let me just go back a little bit here. I want to point something out here. Look, his son is very emphatic about the fact that he believes that Rocky shouldn't do it, shouldn't fight again. Okay? So if you listen closely, you will hear the son saying don't, a clear don't with a T. Then you don't have to do it. In regular speech, we usually reduce don't to don't without the T, like I don't know, or even more like a da. I don't know. Okay? But if you want to sound emphatic, you might want to pronounce everything fully like he's doing it here. In regular speech, I would say, hey, you don't have to do it. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. Hey, you don't have to do it. But the son is emphatic, so he says, then you don't have to do it. You see, because he's really emphasizing that it's a bad idea for Rocky to fight now so old.
But you don't have to do it.
Got it?
Yeah, well, I think I do.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No.
Again, Rocky says, it don't have to be. Listen.
This is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
You see, it don't have to be right here. This is wrong, right, guys? You know this. Simple present. Grammatically speaking, this is wrong. It don't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. But again, Rocky is a character from the streets. He speaks street English. So there's a lot of slang and incorrectness, let's say, in his speech. So it don't have to be. But remember, this is wrong, okay? This is one of the reasons, guys, why I believe that studying grammar is helpful. Because when you set aside time in your week to study the grammar of English, you learn what the correct structures are, the correct way is. And then when you see native speakers in media using grammar incorrectly, you know why they're using it incorrectly. Like in this case here, we are watching a street character, okay, who's not very educated. So obviously, he's not going to speak 100% correctly. But as learners of grammar, we know why that is. It doesn't mean, look, it doesn't mean that just because we saw in a movie an American here, a native speaker saying it don't have to be, that it's correct and that we should do the same. Let's look at the context. Again, it's a character who is not very educated, okay? And who comes from the streets, who's talking like this, all right? Let's continue.
Don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
You got a lot going on, kid. This is nice.
Why? You got a lot.
You see, you got a lot going on. It's like, hey, I mean, your life is going well. I mean, you have a good job. You are independent. You don't live with me anymore. You know, you're doing your thing. You got a lot going on. So when you have a lot going on in your life, things are going well for you. Maybe your career is going well. Your family life is going well. You know, you have a lot going on. In this context, it's a positive thing. You got a lot going on. You have good things. All right?
A lot going on, kid.
Oh, what, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place.
You see, so the son here is kind of resenting Rocky a little bit because the son feels like the only reason why he got a decent job, why people talk to him in the first place, is because he is Rocky Balboa's son. Yeah? Oh, you are Balboa. Okay. You are Balboa's kid. Oh, nice. Yeah. Come work for us. Yeah. So he feels like the good things that he has in life were in a way earned, not because of his own merit. Everybody here in the city, right, loves Rocky, right? He's a celebrity.
Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens.
Very nice expression here too, yeah? Look. Now I start to get a little ahead. When you get a little ahead, or when you get ahead in life, you make progress. Yeah? So now I'm starting to make progress on my own as an independent man, you know? And this happens. You're going to go back into the ring. That's what the kid is communicating here.
Ahead. I start to get a little something for myself, and this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
This is really cool, guys. Coming back here, you see? I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this. Nice phrasal verb. When you go through with something, you do it. You do it until completion. You do it until it's finished. So Rocky had the idea of coming back to the ring and fighting one last time. So Rocky is determined to go through with this. He's determined to make it happen, to go there, have the fight, and that's it. But the son is saying, please, I'm asking you not to go through with this. Just cancel the fight. All right?
Through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
Guys, the subtitles here didn't pick up, but the kid says, yeah, in a way you are. Okay, so Rocky says, you think I'm hurting you? And then the kid replies, yes, in a way you are. In a way you are hurting me with this decision.
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is.
Guys, can you hear the connected speech here? A lot of nice connected speech here. Yeah, coming back to Rocky, you see, he doesn't pronounce the T for want or for wanted. He drops the T there and he pronounces the N before. He says wanted, wanted to do. Okay, let's listen to that part again. Look.
Way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
You see, so we have wanted. And the to is also reduced to a do, wanted to do, wanted to do. That's the last thing I ever wanted to do. Listen to that part again.
In a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is.
More connected speech here, yeah, from the kid. So that's not what you want to do. What you want to do. Instead of what you want to do, he says what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. So, but that's, he doesn't pronounce the T for but, he drops that, and then he only pronounces the T for that after, but that's just the way. He doesn't pronounce the T for just either, just the T for the. So, but that's just the way that it is. All the flap sounds here, all flap T's. So that it becomes that it. And the T for it also flaps to connect with the is. That it is. Two flap sounds here. That it is. That it is. That it is. But that's just the way that it is. Okay? Let's go back here and listen to that part again.
Last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not.
Last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm going to be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You see, so that's the kid's point. I mean, he's afraid that Rocky's reputation is going to be damaged, and as a consequence, his reputation as Rocky's son is also going to be damaged because Rocky coming back to fight now in his 50s, people are going to, that could be like the result of mockery or, you know, people making jokes, yeah, about Rocky and consequently about his son. So his son is clearly worried about the repercussions, about what other people will think about this. So now, let's see what Rocky responds.
You ain't gonna believe this.
Again, right? You ain't gonna believe this. In other words, you're not gonna believe this. Okay?
Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother.
Did you hear again? Say to your mother, I'd hold you up and say to your mother. Say to your mother. Okay?
This kid's going to be the best kid in the world. This kid's going to be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just...
Again, coming back here a little bit, Rocky says, and you grew up good and wonderful. You see, that's not really correct to say to grow up good. A better word here would be well. And you grew up well. Okay? You see? You grew up well. Not you grew up good. But remember, again, Rocky's a street character. He doesn't have a very good domain of English grammar. All right?
They ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did.
Very nice. Then the time came for you to be your own man. When you are your own man, you become an independent person. Okay? So that's what Rocky's saying here. The kid grew up and, it came a time for him to be his own man. He left Rocky's house and, now he's living his life. He has his job. He has his apartment, and take on the world. When you take on the world, you dominate the world, let's say. You go out there into the world to conquer the world and to do whatever it is you feel like you have to do in this life, in this world, It's the hallmark of a person becoming independent and getting out from under the parents' wings, okay? And you did, and the kid did that.
But somewhere along the line...
Nice expression, but somewhere along the line. Imagine a line, a straight line, right? So if you think of life as a trajectory, right, as a straight line, Rocky's saying, okay, you started well, but somewhere along the line, like somewhere in the middle here, you changed as a person, You
changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good.
Oh, you see? You see the problem, guys? Let me go back here.
Being you.
You stop being you. You stop being genuine or authentic to who you really are.
You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good.
Nice, right? To stick a finger is like this, to stick a finger in somebody's face is to do this. Like, hey, you're not good. Like that, right? So you let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. Okay?
Good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame. Like a big shadow.
You see? Let me go back here a little bit. And when things got hard in life, in the kid's life, you started looking for something to blame. Like a big shadow. Because before in the movie, the kid refers to Rocky, his dad, as a big shadow. It's like the kid feels like he can't do what he wants to do because he is Rocky's son, and that already casts a big shadow on him. Like people look at Robert, but they don't think of Robert. They think of Rocky, the father, So
you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow.
I don't know, guys. I get the feeling that this may be quite common among maybe children of celebrities, imagine a celebrity who is very famous, imagine a very famous actor, a famous rock star or musician. Imagine the kids, right? I imagine that their kids, sometimes, not all the time, but some of their kids might struggle a little bit with that. Like, oh, my father is so successful, so famous, everybody loves him. Like, am I going to be able to live up to that or, to be my own person and do my own thing? So it's an interesting concept. Yeah, this movie here deals with as well.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Again, the world ain't. In other words, the word is not or isn't all sunshine and rainbows.
It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Nice. So let's go back here a little bit. You see, now Rocky is, sharing some hard truths. Yeah. with his son. So the world is a very mean is bad. If a person is mean, this person is bad, it's evil, So it's a very mean and nasty place. So nasty in this case, it's something hard, harsh, tough, dangerous, It's not all sunshine and rainbows. The world is a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough, how strong you are, how courageous you are.
Listen, I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
You see, talking about the world and life, right? No matter how strong you are, life will beat you to your knees, will defeat you to your knees, right? Will put you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. If you don't fight back, if you don't do anything. Okay?
You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life.
That's a classic line, right? I've seen that clip so many times on social media. Yeah, I think this speech here is one of the most shared speeches by Rocky, So you, me, or nobody is going to hit, right? Hit as hard as life. Okay? Because life is not easy. Yeah, we have happy moments in life for sure. We have great moments, but we also have the struggles, the challenges, the problems. So life can be a hard hitter sometimes.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Nice, right? So let's go back here a little bit. It's a classic line too. So again, he's using ain't, right? But it ain't about how hard you hit. In other words, it's not about, or it isn't about how hard you hit. Okay? The connected speech there too, but it ain't. If you listen again, I think you're going to hear that, but it ain't. Listen.
If you let it, you, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how.
You see, but it ain't, right? But it ain't about how hard you hit.
How hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
So the main message he's communicating here is that, yes, life is hard, but people who win at the end, in the game of life, let's say, are people who didn't give up. People who kept fighting back and who got hit, who got hurt, who went through struggle, through suffering, but they didn't give up. So they kept moving forward. They kept going. Okay? For example, in life, sometimes terrible things happen, like you lose your job or a family member gets sick, But it's about moving forward. You keep living and you keep doing your best, right? So that's the main message here that Rocky is trying to pass on to his son, that winning is only done if you're able to take all those hits, those hard hits that life gives us sometimes, and keep moving forward and not give up. Okay?
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth.
Yeah, that was powerful, guys. So look, Rocky's saying, look, if you know what you're worth, if you know what your value is, if you know what your talents are, hey, I am capable of more in this life. I am capable of achieving more in this life. I know this. I know. So he's saying, okay, go out there and go get what you're worth. Work hard, work towards realizing your vision, your dreams, Gotta work hard. Yeah?
Go out and get what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the hits.
You see, but you gotta be willing to take the hits because inevitably you will expose yourself. You will be out there in the world doing what you think is the right thing to do for yourself, for your life, for your family. But inevitably you're gonna take some hits. People are not gonna like you. People will leave hate comments under your videos or whatever. Yeah? But that's what it takes, You can't be pointing fingers, like that. saying...
And not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody.
You see, basically blaming other people for your failures, right? That's what Rocky is saying here, yeah? Like, hey, you shouldn't blame other people for your failures. Because in a way, that's what Robert is doing here, yeah? He's kind of blaming his dad for his inability to cope or to deal with the situation. Yeah, oh, because my dad is Rocky, I can't do what I feel like I have to do in this life. Yeah?
Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
But then Rocky says cowards do that and that ain't you, or that is not you. You are a better person than this. Okay?
I'm always going to love you no matter what.
You see, you don't hear the what there again. Yeah? There's a stop consonant there, no matter what. No matter what. He doesn't say no matter what.
You're the best thing in my life.
You see the connected speech here again. He doesn't pronounce the T for best. Actually, he kind of morphs that into the T for thing. So he says, best thing. Best thing. You're the best thing in my life. This is a nice scene, guys, because it shows a father first telling his adult son some hard truths, even in a harsh way, but immediately reinforcing the fact that, he loves his son. Yeah? And he wants what's best for his son. All right?
But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life.
Nice, right? This is something to think about, right, guys? But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. You are not gonna have a life. Like a life worth living. Yeah? So you gotta believe in yourself.
A life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
Yeah, because, in this movie here, guys, Adrian, Rocky's wife and Robert's mom, has already passed away here, in this movie. So when he says, don't forget to visit your mother, don't forget to stop by the cemetery, to visit her, just pay your respects. Yeah, because apparently Robert has been kind of distant from the family, in that sense. All right? So that's it, guys. This is a very nice, powerful speech that we see here from Rocky, okay? It's interesting because, this movie came out in 2006. It's not that old, okay? But since Stallone comes from the old school way of making movies, it's nice to see a monologue again, in this movie. And that was, again, a short monologue by Rocky Balboa sharing some life wisdom with his son. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning English with Rocky Balboa. Don't forget to check out my pronunciation course on pre-sale, link in the description and as a pinned comment down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and share this channel with your friends and family who are also interested in learning English. I'm Thiago, I'm signing off, and I'll be talking to you very soon in the upcoming video. Bye-bye. Oh, and I forgot. Happy Sunday!